I think one of the most difficult things to admit is that you are not loved. And what do I mean by that? It must be the most agonizing feeling, right? To be a part of a group that has been in concentration camps and genocided, and like there is obviously this overwhelming feeling of like sorrow, resentment that we don't often talk about, and also like this feeling of not being loved by the world around you. There's this writer, this rapper, Lupe Fiasco. I wrote about him in one of my classes, but I always liked his music. Some of the stuff that he rapped about, that was very clever, how he would say things. And one of the songs he had was Wave Files, where he was talking about this idea of how could the universe and how could the world allow such an atrocity of the slavery that black people went through and all the deaths, and then he named off all the slave ships and stuff like that. And it is the most lonely feeling in the world to have no place that is a sanctuary, no place that is like where you can feel loved and people love you back, and it's real love, not manufactured love, not situationalized love, you know. I think that that's kind of really difficult to get over, the fact that you're in an environment where like love is a luxury and you are exploited for everything. Even the desire to be wanted and needed and loved is exploited. And it's hard to realize that you're not loved. And I mean this on like obviously that bigger scale level, but I also mean like on a micro level, like in your own life. It's hard to look at your life and be like, I'm not loved. People don't actually care about me in that way. And that like people will go out of their way to cause you harm, to know that you're not loved. And then the only person who really will love you is really just you. As much as that sounds kind of fucked up to say, but that you're not really loved. You're only loved for the things that you can provide and do for people and how you make people feel, but you're not really loved. I think it's something that people don't want to say because it sounds so like victimizing and like almost childlike. The fact that you're saying that you weren't loved by the world, you're not loved by the environment, you're not loved by people around you, so you have to find something somewhere that tells you that you have a right to be in this space and to be loved. I'm sure there's scholars talk about like this divine madness. Obviously we talked about this before, but like I'm sure there's scholars and there's people who have more intelligence than I, even young people, probably children, probably, who are dealing with chronic illnesses, who aren't going to make it, probably find something, the true, like that, what that means, you know, what it means to be in a situation where you're unfortunately not truly loved for what you would hope, like find that love within yourself, to just love yourself, even though like you don't have much time, or you have to love yourself through all the pain and bullshit. And I think too, one of the things that adds to this is when the world around you just keeps affirming that they don't love you. Those people are awful loud because it's not that quiet out here. I'm sorry. They're just obnoxiously loud. So I apologize for those people over there. Sound like white folk, probably. But to know that you are not loved by the world around you is a damning thing. To know that you're walking around among like enemies, your enemies are all around you. These people whom will literally step over you if you're on the street. They do not give a fuck about you. I remember like recently I saw somebody with their kid, right? Their kid's on the street. There's a woman with her kids and they're like asking for food and asking for extra stuff or whatever. And I thought to myself, like, but we just care about each other so much. No, we don't. And then people want me to beg them for help. Why would I beg you for help when I see people who literally are laying on the street who have disabilities and you will walk by them? I won't beg you for shit. Why? You'll just ignore me anyway. You'll be scared. You people already walk around scared around me. So when I say like, you're not loved in the world, oh, you are not loved in the world. These people are cowards. And it's such a hard realization to realize that you living in your body makes you courageous. You just living in your body makes you courageous because people they don't love you in the world. I don't know why Black people just don't say that. They can't say it out loud because I think it's just like a hard thing to swallow. To know that you're not loved in the world and that you have to love yourself. Like you have to find that somewhere in a world what has been constantly telling you ain't shit. You have to have some kind of like almost bombastic audaciousness to the way that you live life. Like you have to love yourself in such an extreme way in an environment that's telling you that you ain't shit. So, just a kind of a point that I want to make about living in an environment such as this. That's why I say like, I think definitely, especially Black Americans, but definitely Black people need therapy to really talk about how we are not loved in the world. And even that manifests in so many ways. It manifests even how we treat each other, like how we have developed how we interact with each other, the disdain, the resentment we have for each other for the fact that we have a hard time of lifting ourselves out of situations because we really can't. It's just that to say to one another, we are not loved in the world. We are not loved, and we do not love each other the way we want to be loved. It's a deep conversation that I've even seen like people kind of laugh at it, the idea, and that's a trauma response. Laughing at the fact that you can't talk about how the world has just done you so wrong, you know? And you abuse yourself because the world has abused you. So it's like, but it's conversations that people don't want to have because it's just too real. It's just too much to look into yourself and say like, damn, this world has really fucked up my life. And I've literally had to conform to do certain things because the world won't let me be anything else but this. It's fucked up to know that. And as much as you want to like do something else often, and that's why I say people are not special in a lot of ways, because society will force you into positions that you don't want to be in. For example, I said this before about how I wouldn't want to work in certain like jobs, right? Currently I'm doing a job that I was not expecting to do because of the certain demographic I'm working with. And it sucks because I called this before. I said men have created an environment, patriarchy has created an environment where women have to go in certain fields. Like we are literally forced in certain fields. And no matter what you do, it's almost inescapable. You are shaped by the environment. And it's hard to say that you are not loved in the world. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Like, it's just that profound. It's just that real to know that you are not loved in the world. and to find that love somewhere. I don't even know how we do it. I don't know how I'm like I said before, I'm sure there's much smarter people than I who have come up with the reasons why we have this spiritual internal thing inside of us that wants to fight to be alive or whatever, like all living things. I'm sure that's part of it. But there's just something else to wanting to laugh and feel good and be happy with oneself in a world that doesn't love you. You know, that's vastly different than surviving. So anyway, food for thought. Peace, you all.